for joining me, Metal Planet Music. For those of you that are joining us when this goes live, I am with Jude and Niall from Beyond Extinction. How are you guys?
Hey, we're all good. How about you, Jude?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
I'm good. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm all good. We're all good. We're all enjoying another fine summer's evening
Yeah,
in
it's
London.
beautiful. Let's not jinx it for the rest of the week. Bloodstock coming up, so I'm like, oh, I'm really hoping.
Yeah.
Download was an absolute, like, it was awesome, but I was like calf deep in mud, so it wasn't a vibe.
Yeah, I heard that.
Man. Okay, so we know that you guys come from the realms of Essex, and you guys have been popping up quite a lot over the last couple few years. And to me, because I'm originally from Essex as well, I'm like, from the depths of Chipping-Ongar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like it's so refreshing to see that there's more metal bands coming from Essex. So like back in my day, to travel to metal gigs, you had to go, it was very few and far between. You had to go to London and come back at silly early or find somewhere to crash. Do you know what I mean? So I've seen you guys pop up quite a lot in that area, and yeah, it's really refreshing to see. So how did you guys kind of come about?
I mean, we're very lucky actually, because you'll be happy to hear these days that Essex scene is doing very well. There's a lot of good music, a lot of young bands, and I think we were like popping up at a time where there was a lot happening. There were bands around us who gave us a lot of help and helped us to, see the wider scene and get about. Yeah, yeah. I think we're quite lucky being in Essex in that regard.
Yeah, I'd just say the same as Niall, really. I mean, there's quite a few good Essex bands, and I think like because it's quite close to London, I think a lot of people just, the Essex bands are sometimes crowded out by London bands. But you'll find like nowadays, I mean, we just played a show in Colchester that went extremely well.
Yeah.
Colchester's metal scene has really taken off. There's a couple really good promoters like Liam Gloucester who are just like really working hard to like create those links up and down Essex and like into Suffolk even. And just putting on good shows every week. And I think Liam's work, especially over lockdown, and a few of the other promoters who just worked really hard over lockdown to like build things up for when it came back.
Yeah.
He put on our first show when we came back in 2021.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, and I hope that it encourages more bands to start playing more Essex shows and more Essex bands to be able to play different stuff. I mean, we went from playing small shows in Basildon to 2 people and a dog to playing with Humanity's Last Breath last week in London at the Dome. So Team Essex, let's go.
Absolutely. Keep that flag flying, mate. Yeah, I'm good friends with Existentialist, and that, like, honestly, it's so good to see guys like you like just popping up, from places that was such a struggle when I was like a bit younger and like, going to my first metal gigs and things. I say first, but like my first proper metal gigs, do you know what I mean? So kudos. Absolutely.
It's funny you mention Existentialist actually, because obviously we're really close with them.
Yeah.
We absolutely love them to bits.
They're lovely,
The first show that we played back after lockdown that Liam put on was in Southend, a pub called the Lamb and Lion.
Yeah.
And that was Existentialist's first ever show.
Wow.
So we've really been with them like quite from the start. I mean, in 2021, we were all still like teenagers, other than me. So it was nice to like, I don't know, we felt like we've kind of grown with them as we've both like gone through the scene, and like we're doing the tour of them, NSIR and Draconian Rain and To Obey a Tyrant in September next month. So that's like a nice culmination of everything. It's awesome to be playing a tour with like mates as well.
It's amazing how it comes back around like that, like the people you come up with and you still like got these good connections. They're still about it, we're still about it. It's lovely.
It is, yeah. I find that, you know, the music scene, particularly kind of underground, is quite compact in many ways. And it's so good for, you know, for even bands that are up and coming, or like, you know, trying to sort of, you know, get about, like, as you're saying, like, you know, their first show. Where was I saw them first, Draconian Rain's second ever show in Nottingham. And I thought, oh my God. So yeah, absolutely. It's I love how compact that, you know, the music scene can be sometimes, because you get things like this, and then, you know, as a you guys, you know, you're constantly growing as well, and just getting to branch out and play some amazing places with some amazing people. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Who's the main songwriter for you guys? Do you have, or do you do it collectively?
It depends really, because it depends on the song that we're doing.
Okay.
We've all written to a varying degree depending on kind of what place we've been at, what kind of songs we've been doing. So traditionally, it would be Zach and Niall coming together to write something. Zach, our old guitarist, and they would come up with something, and I would like chip in, and then Jasper would kind of lay some vocals on top.
Yeah.
And then it kind of shifted over lockdown. We kind of did everything like 4 ways, because we were writing with each other quite a lot and hanging out because we had nothing else to do. So we really just sat and wrote collaboratively with that. And then like me and Niall for the next couple songs kind of just got together and just started doing things. And then it's kind of gradually evolved to the point where we're writing now for our debut album.
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, like I've done most of the guitar work. Any riffs that like aren't Zach's that we've used in this album, because he left quite a few behind, which is nice. You know, I've written, you know, the vast majority of the guitar and the bass for it, and the arrangements. And then like obviously me and Niall have worked together loads on getting the rhythms right, getting the structure. And then like Niall and Jasper, it's quite good having different types of people in the band, because Niall and Jasper will go for a song I've done and go, okay, this bit isn't good, this bit needs to go on for like twice as long. So I've kind of coordinated it and like done the best at like slotting the pieces together. And I think Jasper and Niall have really done good at like trimming the fat and really like condensing it and just making things just like perfect. So
yeah, it's an interesting like combination, because we all do bring something different into it. And it's not even the case where like, you know, Jasper will just do lyrics and just do themes, concepts. No, he really does like, you know, he brings in this different perspective and understanding of musics and songs, where he doesn't need to understand how to write like a riff and all the technical parts of guitar or drumming. He can see a song, they see a demo, see whatever we've come up with, and then, you know, be able to bring his perspective and give us guidance on, oh, actually, maybe we should be going for this, going for that. And then it's the same, like Jude obviously is, what do you call it? Like chief of riffs at this point, basically. He's doing that very well. And then we all just try and do our bit, bring what we can into it. And it's nice. It's nice.
It's quite a good collective kind of process that you have, like, I think. So, you know, it sounds like you listen to each other as well, which is what you need, I think, in a band that writes collectively. So
yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It isn't easy. You know, there's many times where, you know, I've written what I consider like my magnum opus, and the guys have just been like, what the hell is this? This is like not good. So, you know, you just learn to like swallow your pride and just go, okay, I need to write for the song, the album, the theme, and not for my own ego. So it's been good to like just get in the habit of like with writing for the album, just churn out loads and loads and loads. And it's like not with the expectation that it's all great, with the expectation that probably most of it won't make it, but anything that does stick, we can work on. And we've got some really, really good songs out of that. But again, it entirely depends on what song it is, because me and Niall can sit together for, you know, a whole day and write a song, and it's the same quality as something that me and Jasper can write in like an hour on a napkin. So it really just depends on what the song is and what the vibe is, really. But I'm super happy with all the writing we've done recently, and I think we're the kind of band, and I'm sure Niall will agree, that we don't release anything until it's absolutely spotless and perfect. And that's why, you know, we take a little longer than other bands to kind of get stuff out. But I feel like once it's out, it's like, yeah, there's nothing in the back of my mind that's saying like, oh, I should have done that better, or oh, that could have been like a bit more different, you know.
Yeah, it's very well put, man. 100%.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, you're quite, I would class, obviously, you have got like a lot of deathcore meets slam, like chunky, riff fueled, tech infused, like, you know, breakdowns. You got a lot of rawness going on as well, but there's also a lot of melodics in there. And, you know, I'm a bit of a sucker for melodics. I love all that sort of stuff. But you're not over polished, and you retain quite a chunk of that rawness. So, you know, it kind of makes me wonder, like, when you do come together to write, do you envision how you want the end result to be, or does it just like turn out naturally?
Sometimes, to be fair, it depends. Like, if we're coming in from scratch, like an idea might come out of just like one riff that Jude's like whipped up, and we just know that this riff is song quality, but we don't know how it's going to be in the end. We just know we can develop it. Or sometimes it might be like Jasper's come in with a concept, like quite a, like, you know, like a vivid description of something, and we know that's what we want it to be, but we're not quite sure how we're going to get there. And then the songwriting process is figuring that out and creating what we've got in mind. It does depend.
Yeah. Again, like it just depends, like Niall said, where it comes from. Sometimes Jasper will just throw out a name or an idea or something, and, you know, I start writing guitar and I start thinking, this kind of sounds like what I would envision visually for this kind of thing.
A good one was, what was it? He just said, "Oh man, we need to have a song called what was it, like Keeper of the Lake or something like that." And it's just like, okay, there's this really vivid description he's given us. We've got no idea what we want it to be, how it's going to be like, but we just got the picture in our heads, and we get to like explore it together.
Yeah.
You know who I'd love to see you guys on a lineup with? Like, Ingested and Black Tongue. I think he'd do so fucking well with those guys.
Both influences for us to a certain
extent.
Well, Black Tongue is a huge influence for us. You know, it's really one of the bands that we all, it's quite rare for all of us to have a band that we all agree on and all like, yeah, this is amazing. And yeah, Black Tongue is definitely one of those. For me, you know, The Unconquerable Dark and Nadir have been essential listening for me and Niall and Jasper for just writing this kind of music. And Zach was a massive fan as well, and I know it influenced him. I think, you know, especially with Posthuman and Reverse Life Support, we were really going for a sound. We were really going for a stripped down, raw, gritty type thing.
You can really hear that.
Yeah, the stuff on the album, we've deliberately, it was a conscious choice to do those two singles that way. And I think we had to work through that to get to where we are now, which is, you'll be happy to hear, much more rich and layered. And, you know, it definitely has a lot of melodics in it, but at the same time, it's heavier than anything we've ever done. There are some sections that are like earth-shatteringly heavy. So
yeah, man. I mean, that's a great thing that we found about writing like a big collection of music rather than just like a EP or singles, like putting a whole album together, is we got more room to play with these ideas, right? It's like releasing those last two singles. It's like, we know they're going to have to be released as singles. They're going to be viewed like on their own. So you haven't got as much room to play with things that might be, how do you put it, a bit more out there, right? But, you know, with the stuff we've been writing at the moment, I think we've got to go even deeper into some of the things we like and some of the things Jude mentions.
Yeah, and I think it's also good because the way we like to do like EPs and actual records, is if you look back through The Fatal Flaws of Humankind and Nothing More Wretched, they're both concept pieces. They both have a story or a theme through them. And it's the exact same with the album. And I think with the album, we've been allowed the luxury of really getting a chance to explore that. So not only are we doing stuff like, you know, the riffs, the breakdowns, all that kind of stuff, but I was able to spend a lot more time writing kind of the stuff we'd usually put in like interludes or live shows, but like working that into the album, like demonic Bible passage type speeches and all this kind of stuff that, you know, because we've got a story, because we've got a theme, a setting, everything can be tied in, and we're not afraid to slow it right down in the middle or speed it up or do something or
out with it.
you know.
I did love Nothing More Wretched, and that was like, you know, something I was going to come on to next is, you know, I do feel like there's some element of evolvement, you know, with the 2 new songs that you've just released, you know, in terms of the style of writing and the way it's produced. So, and I was going to go on to, does this mean you're going to have a full-length album coming out? So you guys are talking about it. So yeah, amazing. Wicked. So you recently had a few dates touring with, well, you had Humanity's Last Breath and Heart of Coward last week, which I was at, and it was absolutely killer. It was heaving in there, just incredible. How's that been going for you guys? You've had a few dates recently, haven't you? With you know, with a tour.
Yeah, Niall, do you want to talk about that?
The tour coming up in September is going to be huge. We're so excited for it. It's going to be nice because we've had, like, as you mentioned, the show recently with Humanity's Last Breath, Heart of a Coward, and then we had one just the other day in Colchester with Ghosts of Atlantis at the Arts Centre.
Yeah.
And those are a lot of fun, but when it's a one-off, you finish and then you got to go home and it's done. But here we get the pleasure of doing day after day, brutality after brutality. We want to see some good mosh pits, want to see some violence. It's going to be great. And we're with the boys, you know, Isaiah, they're going to be amazing headlining that. We got Existentialists with us, Draconian Rain, To Obey a Tyrant. It's going to be big. And that's all happening from, I believe we're starting September 14th, wasn't it, Jude? In Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think oh, sorry, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just going to say we're going to be hitting like Cambridge, Bournemouth, not in this order. Well, it's Guildford. Where else we hitting, Jude? Remind me.
Norwich, Manchester, yeah, Birmingham, loads of places. It's really up and down the whole country.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I think it's nice, like throughout the year, like we've done a couple like small tours and a couple, like we've done some one-off shows and stuff like that. And I feel like because we've spent so much time right now and we've not had a lot of time where we've booked some proper stuff in, but the September tour is going to be the longest one we've ever done.
Yeah.
And like we just can't wait for it because, like Niall said, like the last few shows have been amazing, and they really have been blessed. You know, we've had great crowds, we've had amazing sound from the sound engineers, and like they couldn't have gone better. And you know, just being able to support like Humanity's Last Breath and Heart of a Coward is just like wow. Because Humanity's Last Breath as well, they're a band who we have massive admiration for.
Yeah.
They're influential on our kind of writing and the way that we think about music as a whole. So it was a massive honor to be opening for them. But yeah, looking ahead, like there's some amazing shows coming up and a couple that aren't announced at the moment for even later on in the year. So we're very, very excited. The Beyond Extinction train never stops rolling, just pulls into the station and onto the next.
Toot toot. Of course, as well, you do have a very special show coming up, the Never Forget Your Own, which is in honouring the memory of Zach, which is beautiful. And I can imagine in some ways it's quite a hard thing to do, especially, you know, you've lost a loved one, you've lost someone that was a massive part of you guys as a band and as a friend. you've got some incredible people playing this show, and who are, you know, they're all incredible musicians and people, just wonderful people as well. So tell us a bit about the show and what people can expect.
Yeah, so I mean, like you've probably seen on the posts and stuff, it's an all-day show. There are some unbelievable bands we've picked. None of the choices were accidents. They're all people who we've either toured with, or who Zach was close with, or Zach really liked, or knew Zach, or that we were friends with. So really, it's going to feel like a nice community coming together. We're doing some amazing fundraising for some incredible charities like Calm, and help musicians and young minds. And yeah, it's just going to be, it will be hard. And I think it'll be emotional throughout the day, because at the end of the day, like, it's not even been a year yet since his passing. So, you know, I feel like though it's the best way that he'd want to be remembered. Just an absolutely kick-ass show with incredible bands, and, you know, raising some money for some incredible charities. And I just hope that everyone who comes along really enjoys the day and spends it as a really what it's meant to be, which is a celebration and recognition of Zach's life and all that he achieved. And I know that Niall will, you know, share the same sentiment as me, that I'm just so happy that we got the lineup that we did, and that we're able to play songs that he wrote, and that, you know, he was instrumental as a part of this band in putting together. And it really will be like he'll still be on stage with us that night, you know, playing his songs, his riffs, his ideas, his influences, you know, and all these bands who, you know, we had such a nice time with, you know, when he was with us. So yeah, it's going to be a tough day, but it's also going to be a very I want to say healing day. You know, everyone's coming together for the same reason, and the metal community is great for that. So I'm really excited. I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Niall.
Yeah, I mean, on top of everything you said, just more on the charities, you know, it's really raising awareness for some very important causes that should be spoken about more. And there's a lot of like, you know, I feel, especially with metal, or at least with our experiences, not wanting to talk about these things so much. Whereas in reality, there's a lot of help out there. There's help available. There's, you know, there's places to go. And I just think for anyone who comes along, whether you knew Zach or not, it's for a great reason. It's for great causes, and it's going to be an amazing night.
Yeah.
Amazing. You know, and I think, like, obviously I didn't know Zach, but I think, as you were saying, you know, it's important to have these kind of events to, you know, to remember and to honor like somebody who was such a big part of you guys, and is, you know, in a lot of ways still going to be part of your future as well, you know. Especially with like so many of the bands that, you know, he liked and you all are associated with. It's a big, you know, to me, that's just a big, beautiful part of community of the metal scene. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I really hope that goes really well for you, and I'm hoping to make it as well. So
excellent. I just say one last thing on it as well. Like, it's going to be nice to play some of the album songs, because, you know, very few people have heard them. And what I think is really nice about it, and especially as an overall with the album when it gets released probably next year, a good 40-50% of all the riffs on the album are Zach's.
Yeah,
he wrote a tremendous amount. He was so far ahead of us in terms of songwriting. We really, you know, we didn't realize how far ahead he was. He just kept churning out amazing riffs and ideas and themes. And what we've done going through is obviously write a lot of, you know, new material. I've written, you know, whole songs. Niall's written songs. But to be able to go, you know what, this section here really needs a Zach riff, and just pull up the archive and just go, this riff is perfect for this song.
Yeah,
And put it in, and it's like, it's like still for me as well. It's like still writing guitar with him, you know, trading ideas, that kind of stuff, you know, that we used to do. So it's nice. Like he's going to be as big a part of the album as if he was still here, to be honest. So that's really nice because I feel like that's the way it should be for our debut album. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
He really, you know, before I joined, and even, you know, well after I joined, he was just the backbone of all the riffs and the energy in the band, you know, alongside Niall. So I'm really happy that we were able to have that material that he wrote to put in there, and I just hope that, yeah, people really appreciate what an incredible musician he was, you know, and how much he's missed.
It's a beautiful way to honor his memory, so, and to carry him forward. So absolutely. Yeah. Is there a GoFundMe link or somewhere where people can donate if they can't attend?
Yes, there is. It is on, it might be on our website, I think, or it will be on
I'll find it.
Website as well.
Connect it to this one.
Yeah. But you will see on our social media anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll find it and then I'll connect it to the interview and we'll pop it up. That's not a problem. So what's planned for the rest of the year for you guys? Obviously, you said you've got an album coming out, and I know you know you can't say like much, but yeah, what's the rest of the year looking like for you?
Well, other than the tour and the few shows we've got after that, it is literally just going to be hunkering down on the album. I mean, we've got maybe 40-50% of it recorded already. So it'll just be a case of finishing the rest of it. And it's like I said earlier, and Niall knows exactly what I'm talking about. We are perfectionists, so it's going to take quite a while before we kind of take a step back and go, yeah, it's done. Because there'll always be something in the back of our heads going, could this be better? Could we have written this better? And actually, quite a lot of the songs that we, you know, lined up to go on the album have been surpassed by better ones as we've kept writing. So I fully expect the current estimated track listing will look completely different in 2 months. But we're going to just keep recording, keep going, and when it's done, it's done. But one thing I know is that it's going to be huge, and it's going to be the proudest I've ever been of our music, because there's some songs that we've already started playing now that people have really been enjoying live, and you know, I feel like, you know, every band says it, but it really is our best music we've ever written. We've really taken the most amount of time and care with it, you know.
Yeah, there's some huge riffs to be heard, and I just can't wait for people to hear them. Like some big breaks as well.
Ooh. Mega. Cannot wait to hear some more then, guys. Okay, well, finally, how can we support you further?
So you can buy tickets to see us live, and you'll get to see the aforementioned new songs and some classics as well, like Gravedigger. And yeah, you can find us at beyondextinction.online is our website. If you want to support us, you know, like you mentioned, we've got the GoFundMe link for Zach's show. We've got merch you can order online, or you can buy at the shows as well. Follow us on social media. Hey, there we go. Support us on Spotify by following us. All of these little things, you know, they all add up. They all help. It's not easy to do what we do. We put our heart and soul into it. So even just a little bit of support goes a long way. So, and we're always appreciative of our listeners and our followers and people who enjoy us, even if they only see us once, or, you know, only buy one t-shirt. Everything counts. So yeah, we're appreciative of all of it. We just love being able to do what we do, to be honest.
Yeah, it's always great when people come up live as well, and when they come to the shows.
To us.
We love that, man. I just wish people would do it more.
Talk to us. We're lonely.
Well, we'll spam you like absolute fuck. So
yeah, good. Just come and see us at Bloodstock if you're at Bloodstock as well. We'll be happy to chat.
Mega.
If you buy us a drink.
Yeah. we'll do that as well anyway. So Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate you chatting to me.
No worries. Been a pleasure.
No worries. And if I see you at Bloodstock, I'll come say hello. And
yeah, please do.
But I'll have this up, and I shall see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, bless.